Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Old Saybrook High School, the site of today's varsity football action with an 11 a.m. kickoff on Saturday, October 16, 2021. The homestanding Rams will take on the visiting GNH Yellow Jackets, and as you can see in your camera shot, the captains are out at midfield for the coin toss. Captains for the Old Saybrook Rams are number 3, Gregor McCormick, number 21, Andrew Carter, and number 56, Ricky Potvin. For the Yellow Jackets, we have number 56, Aiden Bennell, number 65, Connor Mulligan, number 90, Ian Thompson, and number 81, Lambden Good. So once again, welcome to Old Saybrook High School. You can see it's a beautiful turf field down here on the shoreline. The temperatures are very warm, in the low 70s already today at 11 a.m. and a stiff breeze blowing across the field from the south. GNH comes off a win last week at home against Windsor Locks, and they will take on the 0-3 Rams, who are looking for their first victory of the season. GN comes in with a record of 2-2, and GNH will receive the opening first half kickoff. My name is Mike Kurtz. I'll be your host today, and then we have Tim Wheeler on camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Old Saybrook High School for today's football game.
This game will be able to be viewed on the Gilbert School website, TGS TV, the YouTube channel. Our away games, as that's how we will broadcast those for a tape delay, essentially. We're taping this once again Saturday morning, October 16th at 11 a.m. It's an early kickoff down here on the shoreline, and you'll be able to view this starting midweek this week on the Gilbert School website, the TGS TV Gilbert Football YouTube channel.
Freddie Camp. Number 6.
There's a small crowd that's gathered here at the home of the Rams, and they have a band here, and the cheer squad looks like they have some junior varsity cheerleaders and some varsity cheerleaders for the Rams. Does not look like the GNH cheerleaders made the trip down to the shoreline. As you can see, the scoreboard is directly across the field behind the GNH bench, along with the American flag, and in a moment after the PA announcer does his player introductions, we'll have the playing of the national anthem. GNH is looking to get over the 500 mark here today. They did have that nice victory at home, 39-14 over Windsor Locks, a co-op team last week that evened their record at 2-2. As we said earlier, the Rams looking to get their first victory of the season. Both teams have had at least one COVID postponement this year. One addition to the schedule for the GNH Yellow Jackets is that what was scheduled to be their bye or off week next week, there will now be a game against Amistad High School out of New Haven on Friday afternoon. The kickoff time will be 3:30. It will be home at Van Wy Field. So if you're in the area, come on out for some good high school football action on a Friday afternoon. Once again, it'll be against Amistad High School out of New Haven. We'll make the long trip up to the northwest corner to take on the Yellow Jackets.
Number 21, captain, wide receiver, Andrew Carter. Number 25, quarterback, Bart Ratchie. Number 5.
We were noticing in pregame warm-ups that the Rams do use that Delaware wing T double wing offense, similar to what Windsor Locks used last week. And so that will help in the preparations for the GNH squad as they do face a similar offense for the second week in a row. One thing that Windsor Locks did last week is after they didn't have much success moving the ball in that double wing, they did go to a spread formation and threw the ball a little bit more. We didn't see any evidence of that in the pregame warm-ups here for the Rams, so let's see how that happens, how it unfolds during the game.
Back judge, David Batten, and timer, Al Whirling. At this time, please stand and face the flag.
We'll now have the playing of our national anthem, so we'll pause for that. just moments away from kickoff here at Old Saybrook High School. I was recalling on the way down, the drive down this morning, that the last time we were here was several years ago. It was the season opener that year, and GN at the time, came out with a 20-7 victory over the Rams. That game was led by a sterling effort from Captain Alex Smith that day, who starred on both offense and defense. So the teams are just about to set to line up on the field for the kickoff. Once again, GNH looking to get over that 500 mark to try to build on that victory they had last week against Windsor Locks. If they can get a victory here today, they'll return to Van Wy Field for the next two games. Next Friday, October 22nd, for a 3:30 kickoff against Amistad High School of New Haven. And then the following weekend on Saturday, October 30th, against Ellington. Back deep for the Yellow Jackets are Yodi Tavares, number 15, and number 5, Freddie Camp. They're hanging out right around the 10-yard line. Left-footed kicker approaches. It's a high end-over-end kick fielded by Ian Thompson at about his 22-yard line. Goes up the middle, and he gets out to about the 35-yard line. It's a pretty decent starting field position for the Yellow Jackets. About a 13-yard return for Thompson. Try to set that GNH offense for you. The center is Connor Mulligan. Guards are Devin DeVita, Andrew Hafner. Number 75, Ted Benitis, is the tackle. It's an I formation behind the quarterback. Grayson Ursone, toss sweep to Freddie Camp. And he's hemmed in right about the line of scrimmage, breaks free, but then pushed out of bounds for a short gain of about 2 on the play. Grayson Ursone gets the start today under center for quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. It's a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Aiden Bennell also on that offensive line, along with number 90, Ian Thompson. Looks like number 3, Russ Sears, split out to the far side as the sole wide receiver. They're going to bootleg with Ursoni. His pass attempt is short at the feet of Ethan Koenig around the 42-yard line, so it'll fall incomplete, and it's set up 3rd and long here, 3rd and 8. GNH out of their huddle. This time they're going to line up in shotgun. Aiden Avina, the fullback, flanking. Quarterback in the gun. He's got running room. He's got close to first down yardage. It's going to depend on the spot. And the referee does signal first down yardage is attained. They're going to move the chains on the far side of the field. So a nice run by Avina out of the shotgun formation. Just enough, the nose of the ball is on the 45-yard line. Center Connor Mulligan comes out over the ball. You may notice that the GNH player is wearing pink socks. It's a pink out weekend for breast cancer awareness. Ursoni hands to Camp. Spins, cuts it back. He's cutting back to the 50-yard line, gets into Ram territory, still not down, but he'll be given forward progress to about the 49-yard line. So pickup of about, let's see where they put the ball down. 6 yards on the play. He's into Ram territory at the 49. Freddie Camp has had an impressive season so far. He had 3 touchdowns last week to build on the 4 that he had the previous week against North Branford. He lines up as the I back and tailback in the I formation. Aiden Avina is the fullback. They give it to Avina, goes to the left, and the ball is loose. No gain on the play. but they say he was down when the ball came out. So a 3rd and 4 here for the Yellow Jacket offense. 9:30 to go in the opening period. First possession of the game. This time they're going to have Reisdorf in at quarterback in shotgun formation. He's going to scramble. He's going to get stopped a little bit short of the yard to gain. He needed to get to the 45. And he's going to be held up right around the 46, so it'll be 4th and 1 here. GNH going to go for it here. Ram faithful imploring their defense to get a stop here. Long play call in the huddle. 4th and 1. They need to get to the ball to the Ram 45-yard line. They give it to Camp. He gets to the outside, breaks a tackle, still going. I think he might have gotten the ball just across the line to gain. He stuck his arm out as he was being pushed out of bounds. And it is, in fact, a first down, literally just enough for Freddie Camp. He made that all on his own second effort there. He was hit in the backfield, got out of that tackle, got to the far sideline in front of his bench, and just reached the ball across the 45-yard line to pick up the first down. This time they're going to split Camp out in the slot here to the right. They're throwing it to Thompson. He's got it. He's down to the 35, still going, dragging tacklers down to the 25-yard line. Nice completion for Thompson. So another first down pickup here for this GNH offense. They now have it 1st and 10 from the Ram 25-yard line. They'll go back to the I formation. Under center is Ursoni. Hands to Camp. Still going. He's down to about the 15, cuts it back. Still going down around the 10 and maybe inside the 10 to the 9 where it should be 1st and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Runner taken down by Alex Barrett.
People, the 50/50's up to $307. Concession stands open. Get your hot dogs, hamburgers, pretzels, Gatorade, ice cream sandwiches.
They do spot the ball at the 9, so it'll be 1st and goal from there. Looks like Colby Sandin enters the lineup as a wide receiver on the far side along with Ethan Koenig. Shotgun formation Ursone. They give it to play fake to Avina. Ursoni keeps it. He gets down to about the 6-yard line. Be 2nd and goal from there. Actually, it looks like they're spotting it on the 7. So a pickup of 2. 2nd and goal from there. Time-consuming march here, 6:30 to go in the first period. GNH with a 2nd and goal from the 7. They give it to Sandin. He breaks a tackle and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown around the left side. So number 1, Colby Sandin gets into the end zone to get GNH on the board with 6:16 to go in the opening period. We now await the Austin Bayer extra point, Ursoni the holder and DeVita the snapper. Snap is down, the hold is down, the kick is true. So GN will now have a 7-0 lead. They took up almost half that first period on that march, going 65 yards, capped off by the Sandin touchdown. A couple of big plays during the drive. There was a Freddie Camp run to get a first down to keep a drive alive, and a big toss from Ursoni to Ian Thompson for about 20 yards to get them down close to the red zone and continue their march. So now Bear will do the kicking chores. He's had a strong leg this season. He's got a 33-yard field goal to his credit so far and a number of touchbacks on his kickoffs. Let's see how the wind that's blowing across the field affects these kicks. It's a strong wind out of the south of about 15 to 20 miles an hour. It is a warm, humid day in Old Saybrook. Hard to believe it's October 16th. It's more like September 16th this morning. Bear approaches, kicks it. It's a line drive kick fielded around the 5-yard line. Pretty good coverage there by the GNH kickoff team, out to around the 24-yard line or so. We'll give Versoni the credit on the special teams tackle. They're going to spot the ball actually right at the 25-yard line. The GNH defensive line has had good games the last couple of outings. Let's see how they do today. This time it's a sort of a spread formation. You give to the halfback, right up the middle for about 2 or maybe 3. Interesting, we didn't see that formation in pregame warm-ups. Looks like they're going to give him credit for 3 out to the 28-yard line. The defense for GNH, Zan Hadili is one of the defensive tackles. Number 2, Austin Bayer, another. And Hadili with the tackle in the backfield for loss. Number 66, Mason Bradley, also in at the nose guard on that defensive line for GNH. So that'll set up 3rd and 10 here. Camp and Sandin are the defensive backs. Single safety is Yodi Tavares, and Avina now joins him at safety. It's a shotgun pass. It's tipped, and it's incomplete. Looks like 62 DeVita might have gotten his fingertips on that, tipped it up in the air, but no GN defensive back was in the area as it fell to the ground. So it sets up 4th and long here, and probably a punt for the Rams. They do line up in punt formation. We saw them practicing punt formation quite a bit in pregame warm-ups. They get it off. Oh, they're going to call roughing the passer here. They almost got the block, but they unfortunately didn't and hit the punter. So let's see what the call is, if it's running into the kicker or roughing the kicker. Referees are conferring. Flag is, of course, against GNH. Referee saying it's a 5-yard penalty, not a 15-yard personal foul. So they are going to take the penalty yardage, make it 4th and 5 from the 30. They still do line up in punt formation. It's like number 34 on to do the kicking, Jake Pavlovich for the Rams. Good pressure by the Yellow Jackets on the previous punt formation. Back deep is Camp. High snap. It's over his head. It's picked up. And it'll be a turnover for that Yellow Jacket defense. I believe that was Bear on the recovery. Sets up the Rams sets up the Yellow Jackets right around the Ram 10-yard line. Let's see where they put the ball down. They're going to put the ball down right about the 12-yard line here, so it's not quite first and goal, but certainly excellent starting field position on this drive for the Yellow Jackets. Looks like they have number 82, Brett McGuire, split out on the far side. They're going to go with I formation. They give it to Tavares. He cuts it back, and he's into the end zone for a 12-yard touchdown. So a little bit of misdirection and a reverse around the left end for Tavares to get into the end zone for the Yellow Jackets. A quick 12-yard, one-play drive after the muffed punt attempt by the Rams. So with 4:40 to go, GNH extends their lead as we await the extra point. DeVita the snapper, low snap. It's picked up by Ursoni. He's going to try and get into the end zone, and he does for the two-point conversion. So a great hustle play by Ursoni. He fielded the low snap on a hop, realized he couldn't get it down on the block, picked it up, and ran to his right where he had just enough room to get into the corner of the end zone to extend the GNH lead to 15-0. So just as the Yellow Jackets line up for the kickoff, the wind really increasing here at our backs. You can perhaps see it in the flag across the field. It's really blowing here. It's picked up to maybe 25, 30 miles an hour out of the south. Still a very warm day here. Partly cloudy skies. Temperature in the low, maybe mid-70s by now. Two deep receivers for the Rams. Number 81. Felipe Demora, and looks like number 32, Brendan Novajowski. High end over end kick. It's going to sail into the end zone over their heads for a touchback. So a strong leg by Baird cutting through that wind to get the touchback. The Rams will start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 20. GN defense did a good job on their first time out on the field for the Rams' first possession. Let's see what they have here. Looks like number 25, Bard Darcy, is in at quarterback. They're going to go with that double wing formation. Ball's on the ground. It was an exchange that was fumbled. DeVita quickly on the quarterback as he did cover it up. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. They don't have heights and weights here on the old Saybrook roster that I have, but the quarterback, Darcy, looks like a pretty stout fellow. They get the snap. Going right is number 5. He's tackled in the backfield by number 62, DeVita. Slung to the ground was Vinny Nacarado. They say no gain on the play. Boy, it sure looked like a tackle for a loss from our vantage point here. We've seen some curious spots in the games we've watched this year. Sets up 3rd and 10. And looks like a timeout is called. Is it an official's timeout? Looks like they're going to send one of the Rams players off the field, number 55. I don't know if that was some type of equipment issue that the referee spotted and asked him to go off the field. He's replaced by number 76, Ben Freeberg. He's a sophomore for the Rams. 3:15 to go in the first period. They're going to throw it out into the flat. It's picked off by Thompson. He's going to have a pick six here as he rumbles into the end zone for the Yellow Jacket touchdown with 3:01 remaining in the first. So a 25-yard pick six for Ian Thompson. So now we wait the Bear extra point attempt. Last time Ursoni was heads up on the low snap, picked it up and reversed his field and went to the right into the end zone to get the 2-point conversion. Good snap, hold, the kick is up, and it is good.
Number 2, Austin Bear.
So that extends the GN lead to 22-0 with still 3 minutes remaining in this first period. So a dominant first 9 minutes of this game by GNH. So once again, Bear will line up his kickoff squad across the field. He'll kick off from the 40-yard line. Nice job on the pick six by Thompson to get into the end zone. Bear standing at the 30, he'll approach from there. Different kickoff lineup, sort of a double stack for the Yellow Jackets. Sort of a spiraling kick that's going to go out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. So had a lot of English on it, did go out of bounds, so it'll be 1st and 10 Rams from their own 35 as a result of the penalty. Well, I may have spoken too quickly. Looks like the Rams are going to ask they're going to ask GNH to kick from 5 yards further back from the 35 instead of accepting the ball at the 35. So they're going to line it up again. Bear will kick from 5 yards further back at the 35. Okay, we hear Bear say go back to regular formation, kickoff formation for his mates. Bear is one of the Housatonic players on the GNH squad. He approaches. High end over end kick. Drives the Ram fielders back to about inside the 5-yard line. He eludes one tackler, but then he's tackled there around the 6-yard line. So that strategy decision by the Rams did not pay off. Instead of starting this drive at the 35, they're going to start it somewhere inside the 10-yard line. Nice kick from Bear. He has exhibited a strong leg this year. They spot the ball just about the 7-yard line, so that's where the Rams will have it, 1st and 10. The linebackers for GNH, DeVita 62, Koenig number 10, Thompson number 90, Avina number 23. Tackled around the 5-yard line. Looks like DeVito with the tackle, a loss of 2 on the play. DeVita's been all over the field on defense in the early going here. 2nd and 12. They're going to go toss sweep to the right. Oh, the ball might be out. A hard hit. And GNH defenders signaling that they have it. Let's see if they unpile whether they do or not. And the referee's conferring. No signal yet. Was there a flag down on the play? Still conferring about it. Still no signal. Oh, they're saying unsportsmanlike conduct against the Yellow Jackets. So that should give the Rams a first down. So unfortunately, if there was a fumble recovery by GNH, that penalty would negate it. Pushes the ball all the way out to about the 28-yard line. So with 2:02 to go in the opening period, the Rams have their first down pickup of the game. Looks like 56 Aiden Bennell has come into the defensive lineup, replacing Halili. It is a warm day. They're going to have to rotate the defensive linemen here. Double wing formation. They give to the fullback. He goes to the right and picks up a handful on that first down carry. Looks like they're going to put him out around the 33-yard line, so pickup of about 5. Looks like number 5, Nacarado. Well, my mistake. Nacarado's now in at quarterback. Looks like 32, Novojoski, the fullback, with the carry. They'll send a man in motion. This time, the ball carrier is converged on quickly by the Yellow Jacket defense. 34 was the ball carrier. Pavlovich, Mulligan on the tackle. Now Lilly comes back into the lineup and Bennell exits. 3rd and about 5 here. Under a minute to go in the first. Nacarado under center, toss sweep coming to the near side. Looks like he's going to get enough for a first down. Or, well, let's check that. He's going to be close.
Tackle made by number 62, Gilbert, Devin DeVita.
He's going to be about a yard short. DeVita on the tackle. 4th and 1 here. Looks like the Rams are going to go for it. 32 was the ball carrier, Novojoski. Quarterback sneak. He's got enough for the first down. He powered ahead for about 4. Nacarado took the snap and he went right. So the Rams pick up their second first down on this possession, and that was the final play of this first period. So as we head to the second, it was a very good one for GNH. They put 22 on the board, held the Rams scoreless. So we'll take a brief time out here and we'll bring you all the second quarter action momentarily. Both teams getting instruction from their sidelines here as we're going to change ends of the field. Ball is spotted, looks like around the 42-yard line. So that's where the Rams will have it, 1st and 10 as we start this second period. So the Rams will have it 1st and 10 to start the second period. They're going to line up in that Delaware double wing T formation. Nacarado will be under center. They send a man. The ball is exchanged, is loose on the ground, but picked up by Nacarado, and he surges ahead for about 2 or 3 yards. They're going to spot the ball right on the 45-yard line, so it's in fact a pickup of 3 despite the fumbled exchange. They send a man in motion. They give to the fullback right up the middle. He surges ahead just over midfield for good yardage right up the middle. Looks like that was number 24 or 34. No, Jake Pavlovich, 3rd and 1 here, just inside GNH territory at the 49. It's the Rams' first foray into GNH territory this morning. Third and short here. GNH with 4 defensive linemen here. They give to the fullback. He's stood up, but I think he might have gotten just enough to pick up the first down. In fact, it is a first down. The referee signals to move the chains on the far side of the field. So it's the 3rd first down pickup on this drive for the Rams. Their first sustained march of the morning. We hear the old Saybrook Ram band down at the, looks like the west end of the field here. Trying to get some enthusiasm into the crowd. This time they're going to go shotgun, but a timeout is called. It looks like they didn't quite have the right formation or personnel, so they do take a timeout here with 10:06 to go in the second period. But they do have it 1st and 10 from the GNH 47-yard line. Once again, a reminder that these games, since it's a road game, this game is being taped on Saturday morning, October 16th, 2021, and during this coming week it'll be shown on TGS TV, on the Gilbert School website, the YouTube channel for Gilbert football. You can look at this game and any of the previous road games. When we're at home, we're part of the NFHS network, and you can see the games there if you have an nfhsnetwork.com subscription. Those games are live streamed day of game and can also be broadcast later on demand. Shotgun. They give it to 32, Novojoski. He's converged on quickly. Bradley, DeVita, Thompson there. Gain of 1 on the play. Better job by the interior of the Yellow Jackets line. Clock moving here, 9:42 to go in the second period. This time GNH back in their familiar 3-5 defensive lineman. They give to the fullback. He gets down to about the 44-yard line. Pickup of a couple, 2 or 3 on the play. Sets up 3rd and about 7. Once again, DeVita on the tackle for the Yellow Jacket defense. He's had a strong first period and a couple minutes of the second. I see number 70 into the game. Ryan Wurzman at the nose position. They're going to go trips to the far side this time. First time they've shown that today. Shotgun formation. I'm going to roll the quarterback. He's being pursued. He gets the pass off, but it's out of bounds. Incomplete. Great pursuit there, and looks like Thompson was among the ones trying to chase him down. So it sets up a 4th and 7. You see number 16, Ben Solano, also into the game today for the first time at a linebacker spot for the GNH defense. Wind picks up again from our backs, blowing across the field. They do line up in punt formation. Well, it's the GNH defense has to be alert for a fake here. Oh, good punt. It drives Camp back down inside the 10-yard line, and the ball will roll dead. It actually rolls back the other way at about the 8-yard line. So good job by the Ram punter to get that off. He did face some heavy pressure, but also good job by GNH not to rough the kicker. So a much longer field here to traverse for GNH. They'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 8-yard line. 8:33 to go in this opening period. They're going to line up shotgun, one halfback flanking, looks like Ursoni in the gun. Can't tell if that's 18 or 12. From here it looks like 18 Ursoni. He sends a man in motion across the formation, which is Camp, jet sweep, cuts it back again. He's at the 30, the 40, the 50, 30, 20, 10, nobody's gonna catch him, no flags. 92 yards for Freddie Camp on a twisting, winding run. Oh, I take that back. There is a flag back down at the 24-yard line. So it looks like that may all be for naught. Looks like GNH walking backwards. It's never a good sign. So a huge break for the Ram defense. You knew once he got to midfield, nobody was going to catch Freddie. The referee's still conferring, so we'll see ultimately where they set this ball down. If it's a holding penalty, that's a spot foul. If it happened downfield, we'll see where they mark it. Block in the back is the call. And they're going to put the ball down at the 14-yard line. So what it means is it's going to be 1st and about 5 from there, maybe 6. So Freddie will get a blow after that long run.
Replay at 1st down.
So it looks like Reisdorf will be the shotgun quarterback here. He takes it, fakes it. He's tackled in the backfield. Looks like a one Ram defender had him by the face mask, but no call is made there. Little or no gain on that play, maybe even a loss of 1. That didn't fool the Ram defense. Yellow Jackets out of their huddle. Reisdorf will go under center this time. This lone setback is Avina. No, that was Ursoni. He gives it to Avina. He's got 1st down yardage as a flag flies. So let's see what this penalty's about. He did pick up the 1st down, but this may come back as well. What was the penalty? Looks like they flagged the Yellow Jackets for holding. So once again, that'll negate a nice play for the Yellow Jacket offense. Let's see where they put the ball down. Now it's back down to about the 11-yard line, so it's 2nd and about 8 from there. Camp back in at tailback. He dots the I. Going to toss sweep it to him. He gets a lead block from Avina, cuts it. He's at the 30, 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. This time 89 yards. No flags this time. So the 3rd time's the charm on this drive. So Freddie had over 170 yards on this possession, but only 89 will count, but he'll take it for the touchdown. So now we await the Bear extra point at the west end of the field. Snap, hold is good, kick is up, end over end and right through. So Bear extends the Yellow Jacket lead to 29-0 with 6:58 to go in this second period. So now we'll await the Bear extra point from this side of the field. Freddie used his speed and athleticism on that run once again. Unusual that he could have over 170 yards of running on one possession, but unfortunately his first 92-yard touchdown was called back due to a block in the back penalty. But he then got an 89-yard touchdown with no penalty. So Bear approaches, kicks it, low line drive, fielded around the 12-yard line. Got some running room for the Ram receiver. It looks like number 81. He gets out to about the 34-yard line. That's Felipe Demora. So nice return by Felipe, about 25 yards. So that GNH defense comes back out onto the field. Bear, Bradley, and Halili are the defensive linemen. Thompson, Koning, DeVita, Avina, Reisdorf, Tavares, and Sandin. They give to the halfback. He surges ahead for a nice pickup on first down. See where they give him forward progress to. Right to about the 40-yard line, so a pickup of 5 on the play. That was Novajowski on the carry. Number 70, Wurzman comes in, replacing Bear at the defensive line. Clock moving here as we approach the halfway point of the second period. Double wing. They send a man in motion. Give to the fullback, but no, then the quarterback pulls it out of his belly, and he gets it out to about the 42. DeVita crashed down on the fullback, but Nacarado, the quarterback, pulled it from his belly, and he surged ahead for about 2 yards. 3rd and about a long 3 here. Clock moving here, now down to 5:37 to go in the second. Ram offense dearly would love to convert here. Toss sweep going left. Strung out. Good tackle, but he may have surged on that second effort to get the first down. It depends on the mark. Looks like Sandin was the initial tackler. He went low, but he did get just enough for the first down. 32 Novojoski was the man in motion who got the pitch on the toss sweep, and he converts. Looks like Landon Good comes into the lineup at linebacker, replacing Koenig. So the Rams convert, 1st and 10, 4:47 to go in the second. They have the ball at their own 45-yard line. This time they're going to roll out to the right. Nacarado gets pressure. It's, they say, incomplete pass. Boy, that could have been also called in the grasp. Did not appear to be any receivers in the area. Could have been intentional grounding, but they get the benefit of the doubt. DeVito was the first man there. And the Rams take their second time out of the half with 4:33 to go. This game marks the halfway point of the Yellow Jacket season. Hard to believe we're in mid-October, approaching November here. Once again, the next two games will be at home. There is a new game on the schedule next Friday, October 22nd, a 3:30 kickoff at Van Wy Field against Amistad out of high school out of New Haven. That's a game that's been added to the schedule. It was originally scheduled to be a bye week for GNH, but because of the earlier COVID postponement against Coventry that cannot be made up, GNH opted to try and schedule another team to get a 10th game on the schedule, and that will happen next Friday, October 22nd. 3:30 kickoff at Van Wy, followed by a home game the 30th against Ellington. They give it up the middle to the fullback on the dive. This time Nacarado was lined up as the fullback. He was the ball carrier.
$450. Get your 50-50 tickets at the front gate. Last call will be called at the end of the half.
It's 3rd and about 6 here. They put number 25, Bard Darcy, back in at quarterback. He lines up in shotgun. They give it to Novojoski. He picks up about a yard on the play, but it'll be short of the line to gain. Ball's going to be right around the 50-yard line.
Pass on the carry, taken down by a swarm of Gilberts.
So it sets up 4th and about 4 here. Let's see if the Rams elect to go for it. It appears that they will. They keep the offense out on the field. Offset I. Tarsi, the quarterback, under center. They give it to the halfback, but he stood up at the 50-yard line. Ian Thompson and DeVita look like Avina also in on the tackle, so it is a turnover on downs for the Yellow Jacket defense with 3:19 to go in this second period. So the Yellow Jacket offense will now start this drive at their own 49-yard line. So after a first down pickup by the Ram offense, Yellow Jacket defense stiffens, and they get the turnover on downs. Looks like Ursoni is in at quarterback on this possession. They've been alternating. I formation behind him with Avina and Camp. They give it to Avina, the fullback. He spins out of a tackle, surges ahead around the right side for a pickup of about 6 on the play. Quick hitting play. They move the ball to the 45-yard line of the Rams for a 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4. Once again, an I formation, one wide receiver on each side. They give it to Camp. He bursts through a hole. He's got the first down, still on his feet, and he'll be finally tackled at about the 39-yard line.
Camp on the carry.
First down pickup for the Yellow Jackets. 2:35 remaining in the second. Reisdorf will now be the shotgun quarterback. He's flanked by, looks like, Tavares. Slot to the left. It's going to be an option. Late pitch to Tavares. He's down the far sideline, cuts it back, still going. He's down inside the 20. So a nice late pitch from Reisdorf to Tavares results in a nice gain along that far sideline. They're going to spot the ball, looks like at the 17, 18-yard line. So they're in the red zone with 2 minutes to go. This time Tavares flanking the quarterback on the left in the gun. Reisdorf gets a snap. He takes it, goes left, cuts it back, spins, still on his feet, and he's down inside the 10 at about the 8. Close to a first down. Looks like they say he does in fact have it, so it'll be a first and goal from there. 1:31 to go. GNH still has all 3 of its timeouts, so time not an issue here. This time Tavares is the fullback on the eye. Camp is the eye back. Reisdorf takes the snap, gives to Camp, cuts it back. He's down around the goal line, and it looks like he is in for the touchdown. So an 8-yard Camp touchdown with 1:01 remaining in the second period. So now we await the Bear extra point. Once again, a strong wind at our backs here blowing across the field. Snap, hold, kick is low, and it is over the crossbar and through. Looks like he got a little bit of a funny hold on that, but he still managed to kick it through. Nice job by Bear. So since there's 1:01 remaining here, if GNH can keep the Rams off the scoreboard here, the second half would be running time as long as GNH maintains a 35-point lead. But still 1:01 to go here. They were faced with a similar situation last week against Windsor Locks and did give up a kind of a fluky touchdown with about a minute to go in the half. So let's not count our chickens before they're hatched. Bear sets the ball on the tee. He approaches. It's going to go into the end zone where it is fielded by Marat. And he's pushed out of bounds at around the 18-yard line after a big hit. Big hit over there. I'm sorry I couldn't identify the player. I didn't get the number. So it looks like they may have set the clock in motion already. Clock moving here at 30 seconds. So actually the Rams may not have to snap one here. They have not set the ball down yet. Oh, now they're saying that since the ball went into the end zone, It was an automatic touchback, even though the player did field it on the run, going backwards. Clock says 3 seconds left. 1 second. And that appears to be, in fact, the final play of that first half, which was a dominating one for the Yellow Jackets. They'll take a 36-0 lead into halftime. So we'll take a short break here from Old Saybrook High School down in Old Saybrook, Connecticut, and then we'll bring you all the second half action. Just a reminder that the clock will be a running time clock as long as the margin is maintained at least 35 points. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the second half here at Old Saybrook High School, where GNH enjoys a 36-0 advantage over the Rams, and GNH will kick off to start this second half. It looks like number 20 is going to do the kicking chores, Daryl Sharak. One thing I do want to correct myself on, I've just been informed that there's been a number change on the uniforms for GNH. Number 70, who's gotten into the game on a number of snaps here this morning, is in fact CJ Marino, and Ryan Warsman is number 79. They apparently switched jerseys. So the kick is fielded after a bounce, gets away from the initial tackler, and number 81, Felipe Demora, gets out to about the 36-yard line. So that's where the Rams will take it, 1st and 10. And we will remind you that because of the 36-point margin, there will be running time here in this second half. The only time the clock will stop will be either due to a team calling a timeout or an injury situation. And as a matter of fact, as I say that, there is an injured Ram being helped off the field, but he is getting off the field with the assistance of 2 of his teammates. So the referees did not stop the clock. So number 25, Bard Darcy, will be the quarterback to start this second half. He and number 5, Nacarado, alternated at quarterback in that first half. He will be under center. Nacarado goes in motion. They give to the fullback. No, he keeps it. It was a fake to the fullback. Darcy pulled it, went around the right side for a short pickup where he's converged on. Looks like DeVita was at the bottom of the pile there. Pickup of about 2 on the play. DeVita got up a little slowly from that. In a game like this, the one hope that the GNH coaching staff has is that there are no injuries in this second half. So far, they've remained injury-free in the first. Darcy under center, sends Nacarado in motion. Toss sweep to him going right. And he's met by Connor Mulligan in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss.
Everybody pull out your raffle tickets. We have a
Looks like Avina was there to help clean it up.
It is a blue colored ticket, number 8473628. 8473628. Come to the concession stand.
Looks like number 56, Bennell, enters the lineup. He replaced Mason Bradley. Good job by the interior of the GNH defense. Looks like Bear and Thompson are the first 2 men to meet the ball carrier in the backfield for loss of 1 on the play. Sets up a 4th and 1. Clock moving still here. 8:54 to go in the third. Looks like the Rams will line up in punt formation on 4th and 11. Back deep is Freddie Camp at about his own 30-yard line. Good snap. Gets the kickoff. Fielded. No, it's going to roll. Camp does field it eventually on a hop, but then he's slung out of bounds at about the 27-yard line after a 1 or 2 yard return. But that's where GNH will take over for their first possession of this second half. Once again, we remind you that the clock's still moving here, even though there's a change of possession and the ball went out of bounds on that kick. GNH is going to line up the slot to the right, an I formation behind the quarterback. They give it to Camp going left. He breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, spins out, still on his feet, and then he's finally pushed out of bounds at around the 35-yard line, so a pickup of about 7 on first down. In the first half, touchdowns were scored by Sandin, Tavares, Thompson on a pick 6, and then Freddie Camp had 2 touchdowns in the second period to extend the lead to 36-0. The slot receiver is Koenig. Sears also out here. It's caught by Koenig. Nice completion. Picks up a first down. Nice throw from Ursoni to Koenig. Looks like they used Sears to run a deep pattern, and then they brought Koenig underneath, and nicely delivered ball from Ursoni. Looks like McGuire is split out to that far side. They give it to the fullback, Avini. It bursts through the hole, gets to about midfield on a quick hitting play. Nice pickup by Aiden. So they spread out the defense and then ran right up the gut. Pickup of 8 on first down, 2nd and a short 2. Clock still moving here, 5:40 to go in the third. GNH would like to get another score on the board, and then we'll see a lot of the younger players. Once again, a give up the middle. Still haven't blown the whistle, still pushing the pile. Think he's got enough for the first down. Avina does in fact have enough, and they'll move the sticks on the far sidelines.
First down, Yellow Jackets.
That was reminiscent of the last time we were here several years ago, where Alex Smith pushed the pile for about 10 yards on one play that would really turn things around for the Yellow Jackets, who were trailing at that point, and they went on to the 20-7 victory in that opening game of, I believe it was the 2017 or 18 season. Give it to Camp going left, gets to the outside, tripped up, eludes one tackler, still going, and then he finally falls forward at about the 38. So a nice pickup, close to a first down by Camp.
Number 5, Craig Potter Kent, just short of the first down.
We're going to give him credit for 9, 2nd and 1.
Just want to announce we did have a winner on the 50-50. They did win $235. Congratulations. It did go to OSW side.
And the PA announcer just let everybody know that the 50-50 winner has claimed their $230 prize. That's a nice prize for a Saturday morning high school football game. Offset eye to the right. Shotgun is Reisdorf. He picks his hole. He gets down inside the 30 to about the 26. Nice run by Nathan.
Number 18 with the first down.
I'm sorry, I identified Reisdorf as Nathan. It is, in fact, Nolan. My apologies, Nolan. I should have that right by the 5th game of the year. They're going to split McGuire out to that far sideline. Camp will be a wide receiver on this near sideline. Once again, offset I to the right. Ursoni, high snap. He's going to get tackled for a big loss on the play by number 50. Big play by Charlie McMahon for the Ram defense. That's going to be a loss of about 28 to the 48, 20 yards on the play, so it sets up second and 30. Tavares is the halfback flanking Reisdorf in the gun. Sears, they give it to Tavares off the left side. Got a good pickup. He gets down to about the 39-yard line, so he gets back about 9 or 10 from the previous play. And it looks like a timeout will be called by the Rams with exactly 2 minutes to go in the third. They spot the ball right on the 40. To get the first down, G&H will have to get down to about the 17-yard line. So they'll need 23 more yards on these next 2 plays. Once again, a reminder of how you can view these games since it is a road game and we are taping it on Saturday morning, October 16th, 2021. It will be rebroadcast on the Gilbert School website, TGS TV, the YouTube channel for football on that site. You can view it on demand, and then for any of the home games, we'll be streaming live on the NFHS network. So you can subscribe to nfhsnetwork.com, and you can see lots of high school sports action throughout the academic year. Not only Gilbert Northwestern, but any other school that you might wish to view. So it is a valuable service, and we do encourage you to subscribe. nfhsnetwork.com. We do have the capability to stream those games live from the home games at Van Wy Field, and then you can also view them on demand later on. I'm going to be in the I formation this time. Play fake. Reisdorf's going to throw it deep. He's got Thompson out there, and a flag flies. They may get the Rams for defensive pass interference. Let's see what the call is. I suppose it's possible. It could also be offensive pass interference. Let's see how they call it. Looks like it is going to go against the Rams. They spot the ball at the 25-yard line, and now because of the penalty, it'll make it 3rd and 8. So the Yellow Jackets looking to overcome a 1st and 30 hole here. Clock still moving, under a minute to go in the third. They give it to Camp going left. Tries to get to the outside. He's going to be cut down at around the 20-yard line, a little bit short. It'll be 4th and about 3.
4th down, Yellow Jackets.
Well, they're going to put him at the 21, so 4th and 4 here. Under 30 seconds to go now in this third period. Reisdorf will go under center. The wing to the right is Tavares, along with McGuire is the wide receiver. Reisdorf rolling. He throws it to Tavares. He's got a first down. He's down to about the 5-yard line. Nice pitch and catch from Reisdorf to Tavares to convert. And that was, in fact, the final play of that third period. So we'll head to the fourth, still with our 36-0 score, but GNH will have a first and goal from about the 5 or 6 yard line. They'll have to switch ends of the field from the east end down to the west end. Once again, a very warm and unseasonably humid day here on Saturday morning, now early afternoon on October 16th. A small but enthusiastic crowd has gathered for both sides, the Rams side, and a number of people have made the drive down from the northwest corner to the shoreline. Always a nice place to be when the weather is warm. So the Yellow Jackets do, in fact, overcome that 1st and 30 hole that was caused by the high snap and shotgun and a loss on that first down play. That was aided by the pass interference penalty. And then the nice hookup from Reisdorf to Tavares to convert and give GNH a first and goal at the 6 yard line. So the final 12 minutes will be played here once again under running time. First and goal from the 6. Sears is split out here to this near sideline. I formation. Toss sweep to Camp. He gets a block from Sears and he angles into the end zone just inside the pylon for the touchdown. So with 11:29 to go in the fourth, Camp gets his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Number 5, Freddie Camp.
Let's see who comes on to do the kicking chores here. Looks like they might be bringing Chirac on. That is, in fact, who lines up to do the kicking. Snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it was wide to the right. It had plenty of leg, but the accuracy was wide to the right. So that'll keep our score here at 42-0 with 11:29 to go. Clock not moving here on this change of possessions. So that's the highest point output of the season for GN. They've increased their production the last 3 weeks, 29 on the road at North Branford, 39 at home last week against Windsor Locks, and now 42 on the board here at Old Saybrook. Chirac will now come on also to do the kickoff chores. Two deep receivers for the Rams. He approaches. It's a sort of a squibbing kick. Bounces it around the 20-yard line. Picked up by DeMora. Felipe DeMora. He's been their primary returner here today. He gets out to about the 30-yard line, about a 10-yard return. So now I do see a number of younger players coming out onto the field for GNH. I see big number 78, Nick Mambrino. He's a freshman at the defensive line. I see number 75, Jack Benitez, who is a freshman who's been playing primarily on the offensive line. He lines up a defensive tackle here. Trying to identify some other players for you as well. An official's stoppage here. Looks like one of the Rams players might have been a little bit shaken up on that play. He will come over to the Ram bench, shaking his head. Number 34, Novajovsky on the carry. Good pickup to midfield. I'm sorry, that was Pavlovich. So a pickup of about 20 yards on first down. I see number 55, Andrew Hafner, in as well on the defensive line. I see some of the secondary, varsity secondary still in there. Some of the varsity linebackers still in there. They're going to go to the left. They give it to number 3. He gets good yardage on first down. Gregor McCormick, pick of about 7 on first down. So nice to see a few younger players getting some varsity time here. They're going to go shotgun for the Rams here. Gets the snap. Gives it to number 34, Pavlovich, tackled at about the line of scrimmage. I see number 75 there. Hafner is number 55. He assisted along with number 75, Jack Benitez. No gain on the play. 3rd and about 5. Clock still moving here, 9 minutes to go. Rams are going to go double slot from the shotgun. Straight drop back, gets pressure. He does get the pass off, but Benitez with the heavy pressure almost came up with the sack, causes the incompletion, and it sets up 4th and about 5. I see number 11 now entering the game. That is Owen Stimpson. He's a freshman. So in on a linebacker position. We've also seen him in at quarterback in the Rockville game earlier this year. Once again, a double slot for the Rams. Clock still moving here, approaching 8 minutes. They give it up the middle. Oh, I think he's going to be stopped just shy of the first down. So a pretty good job by that young defense for the Yellow Jackets. They do get the turnover on downs after initially giving up 1 first down. So clock still moving here on this change of possession. GNH looks like they're going to bring a few of the younger players in on offense here. Let's try and identify them for you. Although I do see Reisdorf coming out to call the play in the huddle. Koenig is split out to this near side. Looks like McGuire to the far side. It's an I formation. They give it to the fullback. He stood up at the line of scrimmage. That was Bayer. He lined up at the fullback position there. No gain on the play. Welcome to life as a running back. Trying to see who they had at the tailback position on that play. They give it to the tailback. He gets to this near side. It's Sandin. He's got running room at the 40, the 30, the 20. He cuts it back, and he's finally hauled down at about the 12-yard line for a big run for Colby Sandin. He already has 1 touchdown in the game, a 7-yard touchdown to open the scoring in the first period for GNH. And now he brings his team down to the 13-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go now on this running clock situation. Koenig is the wing on the right. McGuire, the wide receiver on the far side. Reisdorf, looks like a broken play there. He's tackled in the backfield at about the 15-yard line. Good job to hold on to the ball there. Looks like a little miscommunication on that. I think he wanted to either option it or give it to the fullback. But fullback went right and Reisdorf went left. Sears is split out to this near sideline and Koenig to the far side. 2nd and 12. This time they give it to the fullback, Bear. He's back to about the 11 or 12-yard line, but it'll set up 3rd down.
Number 2, Austin Dyer with the carry.
Third and about 8 here. It's the slot to the right is Koenig along with McGuire. Reisdorf under center, gives to Bear again right up the middle. He pushes the pile down inside the 10 to about the 8 where it'll set up 4th down. So let's see if they opt to go for it here or if they elect to kick it. So it's 4th and about 5 or 6 here. Ball is spotted at the 8-yard line. Looks like they have to get down to about the 3, so we'll call it 4th and 5. Clock still running here, 3:39 to go. Sears is split out to the far side. The tight end is Ian Thompson here on the left. They're giving it to Sandin. He's down close to the yard to gain. Let's see where they spot it. He went right. A little bit of misdirection as Reisdorf reversed out, but they do say it is a little short of the line to gain, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So good job by the Ram defense there to turn away the Yellow Jackets. And with 3 minutes to go, looks like they spot the ball at the 4, so it looks like he was about a yard shy. So with 2:50 to go, the Rams offense will come out onto the field, and the Yellow Jacket defense will as well. And the Rams call timeout with 2:30 to go, although the clock is still moving here. Looks like the Rams didn't have quite enough or as the right personnel out on the field. They're going to bring 2 new players out. So they're 96 yards away from their the end zone if they wish to get on the board here before the end of the game. Now they move the clock back to 2:28, and it is in fact stopped. Try and identify any new players on that GNH defense. Looks like number 79, Wurzman, in there. They complete the pass. The quarterback dumped it off. He was pursued in the end zone or close to it, but he does shovel the pass ahead, and the receiver, which I believe was number 34, Pavlovich, does pick up a 1st down. So even though he went out of bounds, once again, clock's still moving here. I see number 34 enters the game for GNH. That's Everett Rigby. He's a freshman. Man in motion. They give it to him. They fake it to him. Quarterback keeps, still going out to about the 25-yard line where he's tripped up there by Stimpson and Mulligan. Number 50 enters the game for GNH. That's Hunter Hayes. He is a sophomore defensive lineman. And one more new defensive lineman. Oh, he's an old defensive lineman. No, sorry, that's number 58, but he is not on our roster. Minute to go here. They give it to Pavlovich. Surges ahead for about 5, but a pretty good job by that young defense. So we're under a minute to go here. Rams huddle up. Jacob Gore is given credit for the tackle, number 32. I'm sorry, I didn't identify that he was in the game. Good job by Jacob. Option. He's close to midfield is number 5, Nacarado, the quarterback, with only about 15 seconds left in the game, but we do have an injured Yellow Jacket here. Looks like number 15, Tavares, down on the field. Now he does get up. So that's good to see. So the Rams will have it, 1st and 10 at the 50, and looks like there's 10 seconds left on the clock. Number 38, Ediel Flores, enters the game as well. So barring a defensive penalty, this may be the final play of the game. They give it right up the middle to the fullback. He surges ahead for about 3, and that looks like that's how the game will end. And the teams will line up at midfield, and GN will take that happy long bus ride home back to the northwest corner on the good end of a 42-0 score. So to recap today's game, GNH opened the scoring with 6:16 to go in the first quarter with a Colby Sandin 7-yard touchdown, and followed by a Bear extra point to open a 7-0 lead. And then just a couple of minutes later, after a mishandled punt situation by the Rams, Tavares, on the first play of a drive, went 12 yards for a touchdown, followed by an Ursoni conversion after a fumbled snap attempt on the extra point to go up 15-0. And then about just a minute and a half later, Ian Thompson had a pick 6, followed by a Bear extra point to open up a 22-0 lead in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, with about 7 minutes to go, Freddie Camp had an 89-yard touchdown run, followed by a Bear extra point. And then with about a minute to go, Camp had an 8-yard touchdown run, also followed by a Bear extra point. And then there was no scoring in the fourth quarter under the running time clock. And then in the fourth, Camp had capped his day, his 3rd touchdown of the day, 6 yards, but the Chirac kick was no good. So that's how the game will end here down at Old Saybrook High School. A dominating victory for GNH. See if you can get on camera. Coach Salius is going to slide through the huddle of players. Here we go. He slides safely into second base, and his team gathers around him. So GNH will raise their record to 3-2. And the Rams will drop to 0-4. So once again, there will be an added game to the schedule on Friday afternoon, October 22nd, 3:30 kickoff at Van Wy Field. The opponent will be Amistad High School out of New Haven. And then the following week, there will be a home game against Ellington, Saturday the 30th at 1 p.m. So once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I want to thank the cameraman, Tim Wheeler, for coming down here to Old Saybrook. My name is Mike Kurtz, and I'll be signing off here from Old Saybrook High School. Once again, our final score, 42-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets over the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good day. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the mid-season report for GNH football. We're taping this on Monday afternoon, October 18th, from the bleachers at Van Wy Field. This team has now reached the midway point of the season after a nice road victory last Saturday at Old Saybrook Westbrook, 42-0. And their record sits at 3-2 for the season. So your co-hosts today are Mike Kurtz and Bill Richmond, and of course we have Coach Scott Salius, and he has 4 of the senior captains for the GNH squad here with us today. So Coach, I'm going to let you do the introduction honors.
All right. So today our captains for the 2021 season are with us today. We have Landon Good, senior, goes to Housatonic High School. We have Ian Thompson, senior, goes to Northwestern Regional. We have Connor Mulligan, one of our legacy players here, the last in the line of Mulligans, senior, Northwestern. We have Aiden Bonnell, who is a senior for us from the Gilbert School.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate the introductions. And as I said a moment ago, the team's record stands at 3-2 on the midway point of the season. And on a scheduling note, there's been one game that's been added to the schedule, which will be a kickoff this Friday afternoon, October 22nd, right here at Van Wy Field at 3:30 p.m. And the opponent will be Amistad High School from the southern part of the state. And we'll have Coach speak a little bit about Amistad in just a few moments. But, guys, we appreciate you coming out today and appreciate you taking some time out of your day. And, of course, you guys... you can see the view of the field here where the JV game is just about to get underway here. So we'll have a few questions for each of you, and then we'll ask Coach to talk a little bit about what he sees for the remainder of the season. So, Billy, why don't you take it from here?
So we just want to go back and a little rehash, Coach, and we know, the first 2 games with Stafford was tough, and then going up to Rockville and with the limited amount of people, I know if we had your whole team, that would have been great. But then we traveled down to North Branford, and, that first quarter, you got down, they scored 18 points on you, 18-7, and then everything changed. And it seems like since that time, GNH has been a whole new team. How about you talk a little bit about that?
I think that pretty much exactly hits a nail on the head. Recapping the beginning of the year, I mean, the Stafford game going into that was a team that I knew that we were either equal to or better than, and we shot ourselves in the foot time and time again in that one. And you look at that was a first varsity football game for pretty much our entire team just about, and even the first actual football game for some of our players. Had that game happen right now, I think that, again, that'd be a different story. The Rockville game, again, we played about 14 players. It was basically an Ironman football type of game against their 65 players, and we hung in there right to the fourth quarter with them. Probably even talking about 3 wins, that was probably one of the games I'm the most proud of right there. Just the fight that we had. Nobody asked to come off the field. Nobody asked to quit. We went in with a freshman quarterback that game, Owen Stimpson, who took a lot of hits and kept bouncing back up. I mean, that somewhat inspired a lot of the team right there and kind of led that way for these last 3 games. The first quarter, the North Branford game, it was almost bringing back bad memories of being down to that field in the past when we had good teams and went down there and never could really, get off to any sort of good start. But then we got it together, and we found our groove, and, we started blocking better, and, that was the game that, kind of got Freddie Camp going on his run of long touchdowns, and I think that gave us some confidence that even if we're down by a couple of touchdowns, that we do have that ability to come back. And once you get that confidence in you that no matter what happens on the field, that we can make that comeback, and I think that really goes a long way for the last 2 games where we really felt confident going into both Windsor Locks, and we felt confident going into Old Saybrook that we can control the ball on the offense. And the second half of the North Branford game, when our defense really stepped it up about 5 notches in that game, and everybody really played hard in that game. And, again, that gave us a lot of confidence going into those last 3 games. It's all ended up to be fairly nice wins.
Well, thanks for that summary of the first 5 games, and now we know that you have an extra game that's essentially been inserted into your schedule this coming Friday. So why don't you just give us a little bit of a preview of what you expect to see out of Amistad. I know they have only a few games on their schedule, and I think they've only played 1 or 2 so far to date, but tell us what you know about them.
Right, so Amistad we got as a replacement when we lost the Coventry game due to the COVID. So we want to make sure that everybody on this team, especially after last year, got 10 games to play. We didn't want to take a no contest, or we want to make sure we got every game in. So Amistad, who's an independent team out of New Haven, it's actually the Achievement First Academy, the Amistad School Achievement First Academy. They're a Class S CIA school. They're an independent, so they don't have a conference, so their schedule is limited. They played Plainfield twice so far this year. They lost both games. They have a smaller size roster. I think there are about 28 players on their roster. They're a team that's learning. I was communicating with their coach today. Their battles are a little bit different than our battles. They're looking to improve every week. Sounds like they do have some talented people on their roster that we're going to have to look out for. And a game like this is going to be a little bit different for us. I'm not going to really give the kids a whole lot of film on them. They don't really have a whole lot of film, so we're going to kind of see what our kids can adjust to on the field and be able to react to and get ready for these teams down the road that are going to give us different looks. So it's not everything is always as it's drawn up. Sometimes you come across teams that give, even old Saybrook started giving us different looks that we had to adjust to. So it'll be a good mental challenge for our kids to be able to get to a team that they're not totally seen and they haven't totally watched film on or prepared for.
All right. Thank you for that synopsis. We do appreciate that. And now let's turn and have a few questions for our senior captains here. Billy, I'll let you ask some of the questions here.
So the first one just goes off of what Coach was saying, because I also said, and Mike and I talked about this, in the Rockville game, we saw such heart from all the kids that were up there, right? It was, you guys were way outnumbered and everything. Everybody's playing that whole game both ways, and nobody ever quit, So, Ian, why don't you start us off and talk a little bit about that? Because then I think that was the springboard that really helped you, going forward for these next 3 games.
Yeah, I just want to say personally that, I just want to say that for the heart from my guys, man, or from our guys, they really put everything on the field. We had a tough week. We didn't have a lot of people coming to practice because simply they couldn't. But even then, I feel like they really dug their heels in. I mean, we put our best effort out there, and that's all we could ever really ask of our guys, Anything else, we wanted to win that game. We tried to win that game, but, in the end, it just wasn't meant to be. But even on top of that, it was just great effort from everybody.
Yeah, that was good. And then we move on to when you do get the wins down at North Branford. And so, Aiden, why don't you talk a little bit about how you guys switched it and what happened down in North Branford?
Well, the North Branford game, we all went in there. We were very confident, and when we started down 18-0, I don't think we got down on ourselves. We kind of had a fire under us, We knew we were better than them, so we just kicked into gear, and the defense started going. The O-line started talking more, communicating, making all our blocks, getting Freddie going. And, we just came back from that 18-0 start of the first quarter, and we scored, I think, 28 unanswered, which, we needed that. So it was a big win for us, and it kind of sparked the rest of the season.
You have a question, Mike? Or yeah?
Well, yeah, I'll have Connor take the microphone here. And Connor, I know you're a two-way player. As Coach mentioned, you're a legacy player. You've had a long family history here of GN and now GNH football. Tell us, what do you think is the key for the remainder of the season for your Yellow Jacket squad?
I think the key is just keeping 100% effort. Ever since we've started, I haven't seen anyone put no effort in. Everyone's giving it their all. Everyone's going to the ball. We're all tackling as a team, and just that's all you could really ask for.
All right, thanks, Connor.
And then we just want to ask you, Landon, too. Now, you're a new member of the GNH team. What has it been like for you, switching from, the co-op you were in before to this co-op?
It's been an adjustment, making those 40-minute trips. I've been training with these guys since the spring. So, it's been a long haul, but it's something I won't forget for the rest of my life. I mean, these guys are my brothers, and I just can't thank you all enough for accepting me into the program. And I can speak for all the rest of the Housy guys too, and I hope we can get some more guys into the program.
So it's been exciting, to see not only everybody on the team, but, Austin Bear, playing the defensive line. And, when he was up at Rockville, against that big number 79, and he just never quit, And to me, that was, again, one of the things that we were talking about that's been good to see, And so having you guys down here has been great. So we welcome you guys. And, we've talked about a couple of the interviews. Talk a little bit about what it is like to be part of the G&H family now.
Well, I think we're very unified. We do everything together. A couple of days ago, we forgot our kicking tee, and we all ran over there as captains, and we all served the punishment equally. It was a learning lesson, and it's just something we all do together. We all do the same punishment. If we screw up at certain points, and we rely on each other, I think, the most.
Coach, let's go back to you too. Now we know we have a new member of the coaching family too. Devin Mashad came out. Talk a little bit about your coaches, which have been so good throughout all these years that you've been here.
Oh, the one good thing is I always had good consistency with coaches, whether it's the returning coaches that we had or adding new coaches that are familiar with the program. Since I've been here, we've never had an outsider come to be a coach. We added Coach Charlie Shea a few years ago, who coached, and now he's moved on because he moved to a different part of the state, and he said he's Catholic now, so we had a good connection with them. Played him in a preseason game and played him in a JV game. Tom Scarangelo, another player that played for us, coming through, and Devin is now the next in line. And obviously Devin brings a little bit different mentality than some of the others. I mean, he was a little bit of a nut when he played, and he kind of brings that mentality down. Takes great pride and passion in coaching the line. I mean, absolutely. And some of the things that our defensive is doing in the defensive line is kind of attributed to his mentality. That scrappy back of the day, really taking no crap from anybody else type of mentality that that helps us build what we are right now. I mean, past seasons, this team didn't really have a huge personality. Some of our better teams always had a quirky personality to them, but this team is definitely getting that quirky personality back. And in some ways, Coach Mashad is, responsible for that, making sure that we're almost back to our roots of being kind of, if not the misfits or the oddballs, but in taking great pride in that. So that helps us, get that personality and that bonding going with the team.
Very interesting that you say that because at one time I was talking to a couple of players and they mentioned about Mashad doing some of that. So, Aiden, why don't you give us a little synopsis on that whole deal?
Well, the first time I met him was in the summer, and he asked me one question. He's like, "Are you mean?" And I've never actually thought of that. Like, am I mean? I don't know. I mean, I'm a nice guy, but he's kind of gotten us linemen to be mean, dig deep, the team, it starts with the line, and he's kind of gotten us all to believe that and really show it on the field. He's gotten us all tough. Practice, he's different than other coaches I've had, but it's definitely been a big impact for me.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Anybody else care to comment on Coach Mashad before we change subjects?
Well, going on in practice, Coach Mashad definitely doesn't go easy on us. He makes sure we're going all out during practice, make sure the D linemen are going hard on the O linemen when we're going through plays and all that, and definitely makes a big impact when we go on the game field.
Coach, I mean, we talked about this before. We said before the season started, you guys, we knew you had athletes, and it was going to come down to the lines, and that's what we're starting to see, So that's good. Credit to you guys on the lines and credit to the coaches.
And that is, and what's good is we actually have the depth this year in our practice, especially on the line, kind of both ways, that these have been more competitive practices. Usually if we do a Team O segment, it's usually run whatever we want and the team offense scores against the Scout D. Not so much this year. Now you actually got to work for it. When we're running that team period and that kind of live team period, the O-line's actually got to block somebody, and that's helping us on both sides of the ball because it's helping the D-line gets better. I mean, that's kind of where we found Xander Hidelli one day. It was just we put him on the D-line, and we're like, all right, why can't anybody block him? Nobody is able to block Hidelli right now, and that was pretty much right before that North Branford game, and all of a sudden he had a breakout game, and gave him more confidence, and that challenges us in practice. So, it's working out well so far this year in the trenches.
And while you got a second, just talk a little bit about Freddie Camp and what he can do out there.
I mean, we don't even need to say it. Freddie's just an outstanding athlete. He's just an incredible athlete, and just to be able to get him the ball. I mean, coaching that's easy. It's get him the ball in open space, and we just got to block enough to get him to that open space, and he's going to make things happen on his own. We've done a great job making some great downfield blocks for him this year and second level blocks. So it's not all Freddie. And if you look at the film, you're going to see some great second level and downfield blocks that help to spring him open. His punt returns. All right, we have great pressure on the punter, which causes him to be able to get that. So, and it's just the athlete that he is it's working well in the system. I mean, it's like nobody can do it on their own, but having him back there, the breakaway speed and the acceleration, that gives us that confidence that even calling plays, that I know we could be a 3rd and 9, and I'm confident that we can still get a first down. And I think the players are confident that it's 3rd and 9 and we can still get a first down. So.
And Freddie's had a couple of statistical anomalies this year, especially in last Saturday's game down at Old Saybrook, where he had 180 yards on one possession, but unfortunately only 89 of them counted. But he did get in the end zone, and no, he was glad, and you guys were very glad to have that happen. But Billy, I know you had
Well, the other one is because not only do we know that Freddie can run the ball, every other team knows that he can run the ball too. So in that last game, it was good to see Tavares get some good yards, and then Sandin, who we haven't seen much of this year, to get them out there. And then Aiden Avina has been spectacular this year. Talk about a little bit about those guys for us.
Yeah, that's the one tough thing that I had this year coming in as a coach was we have a lot of talented skill players. We're 2 to 3 deep at every position. And it took us a few weeks to try to figure out, well, where's our best fits for everybody? We try to all right, how many reps do we give this guy at tailback and this guy at the X and this guy at fullback? So we kind of settled into a kind of a pattern now where we have 2 tight ends. We have Thompson and Landon at tight ends. We are pretty much running 2 split ends with McGuire and Sears. We have 2 X's with Yoetti and Ethan Koenig. We have 2 fullbacks with primarily Avina and then Austin Bear. And we just didn't have that constant, all right, who's the next tailback without, pulling somebody from another position. We were using Nolan Reisdorf, but we have 2 quarterbacks with Nolan and Grayson. So it's fitting now that, we put the 2 tailbacks in, and now Sandin can come in and relieve Freddie, and we can keep some consistency in there without trying to give, one player 3 or 4 different jobs to do. So, and we can still get, different multiple formations out of it. But Avina, when he hits those holes, and he has been running nice. Colby had a great game the other day. Yoetti. I mean, and we really haven't had to pass the ball in the last 3 games too much. But when we do get that going, I mean, we do have the threat of both quarterbacks being able to run. And I think you saw that in the Windsor Locks game when Grayson, took a nice touchdown to the house. Ran a big play for Waggle. The North Branford game, Nolan Reisdorf ran for about 60 yards on scrambles. So we haven't even reached our potential yet. We can be a much more dangerous offense than what we've even put out there. So if teams want to overplay good old number 5 back there, we still got a ton of other weapons that we can go to when they start to overplay Freddie.
And Coach, that's a great segue because I was actually just going to bring up the development of your 2 quarterbacks, Sony and Reisdorf, and so thanks for speaking about that. But it does make your team a little bit harder to defense because the other team can't just key on Freddie all the time. So, and since we're mentioning the development of the passing game a little bit, I know you only had to throw a few passes in last Saturday's game, but one of them went to number 90, Ian Thompson, for a nice hookup. So, Ian, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
With our pass game, I mean, knowing I got Grayson and Nolan as quarterback throwing it to me, I always got confidence going wherever I got to go. Whatever route I got to run, I always know that those guys, they're going to be the ones to get it to me. And after that, all I got to do is run. Got to hit hard and try to get as many yards as I can. I mean, it always feels nice, but I know, first of all, that it's not going to get there without my two quarterbacks that support me.
And while you got the mic too, tell us a little bit about your pick six.
Pick six, it was kind of surreal, man. It was my first varsity touchdown ever, and I mean, I was, what was it called? It was like a whip call. We had some sort of blitz set up where I was gonna fake blitz and I was just gonna back up, but then I started backing up into my pass drop, and it looks like the quarterback's throwing the ball right to me. So of course I got to snag that out the air and bring it to the house, man. One time for the team.
While you have the mic, I'm just going to finish up with you. So, Ian, you know, we remember you when you were this big, right, coming to all the games, and now you're the senior on the team, you know. So just tell us, how old were you when you were first, you know, when was first the coach then, right? You were like...
Well, before Wolverines, right, so probably 6 or 7.
6 or 7, that's what I was going to say, 6 years old. So it's been a long time. I remember seeing you right out here, you know, hanging out at the bench and everything. What's it feeling like being a senior now on this team?
It feels great, man. I couldn't have asked for anything else. I mean, I've been watching so many teams go up. I mean, they have their ups, they have their downs, but it's finally my turn to be here with all of my friends, all of the captains here, and all the guys that are out in the field and do the same things that I've watched on the field for so many years. It feels great.
That's good.
On that note, let us not forget that a lot of people don't know that Connor Mulligan was our filmer when he was in 7th and 8th. When he was in 7th and 8th grade for 2 years as a 7th and 8th grader, was our filmer for us, and he's gone from filmer to captain at this point. So, yeah, another good mark to make.
Connor spent more time with us than any player on his team.
That's right.
He was up, you know, on the away games with Mike and I. So, Connor, give us a little thought about what you think coming from that to being a senior captain now.
It's kind of surreal that coming through, and this is my first year starting varsity. It's been crazy just to have this experience as a captain and spending time with all my teammates. But never did I think coming in that being filmer, then coming in playing football, that would be like this. It's just so nice.
All right, we'll stay with the players for a little while. Aiden, what, you know, it's been a weird season, a weird career for you guys with a break with COVID, but what would you say is your favorite game as a GNH player?
Favorite game? Yeah. Definitely was last Saturday, this game. That's the best game I've ever been a part of. 42-0, we put up a goose egg on them, and you know, it was just great. Everybody was hype. You know, we had energy all day, and you know, I was just in a great mood the rest of the night because that just was the best game I've ever been a part of. You know.
All right, Landon, we'll toss it over to you. I know you haven't been part of the program for as many years as these guys, but why don't you answer the same question? What's been the highlight so far for you?
Definitely the North Branford game. You know, it was a struggle my first 2 years, my freshman, sophomore year, with the Oliver co-op and always being close to that win and working so hard. And then coming to a new program, continuing to work hard, and finally getting that first high school win.
First win? Yeah, right, baby. Yep.
All right, and Ian, why don't you answer the same question?
Favorite game? I'd probably have to say Windsor Locks.
We're getting a little long run in the JV game. All right. About 70 yards. A little play-by-play.
Bradley Kane just scored on a kickoff return.
Bradley Kane.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
So great start to the JV game here at Van Wyck Field.
I know, right? Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, what a fantastic way to start the game. But that's okay. That was worth getting interrupted for.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely have to say my favorite game so far has to be the Windsor Locks game from a couple weeks ago. I mean, it was his first home win. Bring one home for the fans, all the parents that come out to support us each and every night, support all of our teammates, giving them a place to stay, food and all that, man, and doing it in front of front of all the parents that have wanted us to see us get a win, especially here at Van Wy Field. It feels great. Couldn't ask for anything better.
All right, and toss it over to Connor. He's got the longest history here with GN, so you probably have a lot more things to choose from, but what's your best memory so far?
My best memory, honestly, probably would be the North Branford game also. I don't think that we could have done any better on defense. We started off not so well, but we figured everything out that we needed to figure out and really stepped it up from there and didn't allow anything to go in the end zone after that. So I think that was a big highlight for my football career.
All right.
Hey, Coach, let's go back to you and let's think about or tell us about the rest of the season with Ellington, SMSA, Derby, and then the Granby Camp.
Yeah, we talked about Amistad. That's our next one coming up. And then after that, we have 2 true tests. We have the Ellington game and then SMSA game back-to-back. And really, I think that Ellington game will kind of set the tone for the second half of the season. We really need that game, if we want to look forward to, the end of November and what our potential is. So we're going to have to put a huge effort in for that Ellington one. SMSA is another quality team. They have a dangerous player on their offense. Actually, a couple dangerous players. They like to go wildcat. They like to go spread. They're going to be spreading that ball around, so we have to be able to control that. Ellington's got a great defense. We're going to have to be able to move the ball against them. Derby, I looked at them against Torrington, and it's just an unfortunate what's kind of happened to the Derby program. I would have liked to, hopefully that they can get to be more competitive, but right now they're just not very competitive. And then we're looking forward to a Thanksgiving Day game at home against Granby, starting Granby Canton, starting that new rivalry here with this group right here is year 1 against Granby Canton at home on Thanksgiving Day. And, it's our hope that we can come out and do what we need to do in these next 4 games and then have that game be a very meaningful game. All right, for that first Thanksgiving against them.
So while you got the mic, just go right back. Talk about the Class M playoff situation. I was just looking at it.
I'm not looking at it. I'm not going to look at it till after we play Ellington. Once we get done with Ellington, I'm not looking ahead to anything. I'm looking ahead to I am doing what coaches shouldn't do. I'm kind of looking a little bit past Amistad, but then I'm gearing toward Ellington. A lot of my last week has been spent looking at the Ellington films and the Ellington tapes. That we lost to them last in 2019, a game we shouldn't have lost. So I already had that one marked on the calendars, when we shouldn't have lost. And I know they're going to be coming in here on our home turf, and I know they're going to be looking for something. And I know that game's going to be an absolute battle when we play Ellington here. So that's the one. And after that game, depending on what happens, then I'll start taking a peek.
Did notice, right now, the Pequot League, had 4 teams up in Class M, so they're doing a good job there. It is, lots going to change too, and it's a different year. It looks out there, there's a lot of 2 lost teams already that are still close, so you guys really, that these last few games are going to be a big difference, right? It's going to be good.
All right, so we do want to thank Coach for bringing out the 4 senior captains here for the interview show. We do want to remind folks of the upcoming schedule. This coming Friday here at Van Wy Field, 3:30 kickoff against Amistad, followed by the next home game with Ellington on Saturday, October 30th. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff. And then the team goes on the road for a couple of games, the first one at SMSA, then at Derby. But then they wrap up the season on Thanksgiving morning here with Granby Canton, which should be a fantastic Thanksgiving football game, Thanksgiving morning football game. But Billy, why don't you wrap things up? I know you had a couple of other things you wanted to get to.
Well, I just have I started doing this at the end of the basketball games last year. It's called What's the Buzz Inside the Hive, and it just tries to get to know you guys as some people. So, so some of the questions I'm just going to, and we've asked a few already, but one of them I have, and we'll just go down the line. Let's say, what's your pet peeve of each person's? What bothers you guys?
Anyone want to start?
I know.
I got one.
All right.
I gotta say, people that chew with their mouth open.
Oh, there you go. That's mine. Yeah, woo.
Like, oh, God, man.
All right.
That's me.
All right.
A pet peeve of mine is when you ask someone a question and they don't answer the question. Like, they just say something completely unrelated to the question. It just gets me.
Okay, Landon, what do you got?
I gotta say, I experienced this today. People coughing without covering their mouths.
Okay, there you
Like,
go.
Especially now. Especially now.
All right, you keep the mic right there, Landon. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear.
I got mine.
That's tough.
All right, hand it down to them, though. We'll come back to you. You got to come up with it, right?
I gotta say, biggest fear, it's gotta be drowning. Just something about it is just scary. The water, man. The water is a lot of big fears in there.
I think my biggest fear is probably heights. Like being way up in the sky is just kind of scary.
Mine's definitely spiders.
Spiders.
All right.
That's a popular one.
Probably being buried alive.
Wow, I never heard that one before. All right.
That's deep.
All right, what's the funniest thing that happened to you in a sporting event?
Funniest thing.
Yeah.
No, we can't. No.
Well, I also play.
Any
hockey.
sport, yeah.
I also play hockey for Housatonic.
Okay.
And when you're playing defense and people are ripping slap shots from the blue line, it's a little dangerous. So good thing I got a cup on. So.
All right, Ian. What's the funniest thing that happened to you?
I think I'll go with a recent one during the Rockville game. One of the running backs, number 5. He's a great runner, but I went to go tackle him, and kind of put me on my behind. You know what I mean? And I know the first thing, I know Connor heard it too. First thing I said as soon as I wrapped him, I was like, this is gonna be on the film, huh?
All right, mine's definitely got to be sophomore year against Housatonic. We were blowing them out at home, and they put me in the game. And actually, a teammate now, Russell Sears, the student section was telling me to shoot it, and he blocked me off the wall out of bounds off the wall.
That's good.
I think my funniest memory is probably in football. Going against Dylan Keith every day, I would just be put on my butt every day and just laugh about it. There was nothing else I could do about it.
All right, now here's one. What would people be surprised to know about you? What fact or what thing in your life? That's a hard one. You got one? All right.
Surprising fact about me. I don't know what or I give off to these guys, but I don't think I project myself as a really reckless kind of guy, but when I was very, very young, like even before kindergarten, I ended up breaking my arm twice. I think it was the same arm.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd probably say that I'm more of like kind of a nerdy guy. I like to play a lot of video games, listen to all sorts of different kind of music, anything interesting in that sorts.
How about Coach? What would people be interested to know about you?
Interesting about me.
Yeah, like that people wouldn't know about you.
I don't know if it's to be interesting. I'm a huge history fan.
There you go. See, that's it.
World history. I'm a big reader, voracious reader of history books, biographies, all of that. Maybe that's a coaching thing. I don't know, but
right. That's a good one.
And a huge Bob Dylan fan.
All right. It's better than the Bee Gees that Douglas is the fan of. All right, now we're gonna go some quick ones. And you can start, Coach. What's your favorite vacation spot?
Europe.
Europe?
Yeah, no doubt. Europe.
Okay. All right, I'll share with you guys too.
The Bahamas. I went there on a cruise one year. It's great.
All right. Landon, what do you got?
I'd probably have to say Florida or Tennessee. I got a lot of family in Tennessee.
Nice.
Mine would have to be Cape Cod. I go there with my family every year and get to see my dad's side of the family, so that's always fun.
Yeah, I'd have to say my favorite is definitely Jamaica. Me and my dad go down there to see family, even for any type of reason, really try to go every other year.
All right, and I just got the last one is what is the best concert you've ever been to?
Oh, man, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever been to any concerts. Yeah.
I've been to one.
I know.
The one concert I went to was a Wiggles concert when I was 5 years
Oh
old.
my God.
I forgot about that.
That's old. You didn't want that to be your most embarrassing moment?
Yeah. The only concert I've gone to is a Sam Hunt concert with my cousin.
Oh, nice.
I've only been to one concert, like when I was 11 and 12. I went to the Who.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, man.
That's a good
Oh, man.
concert.
Yeah.
That's what you want to go see. Ian, what are you gonna?
Oh, no, I've never been to any
Scott,
concerts.
how about you? What's your favorite concert?
It's definitely a tie. It's a tie between the Bob Dylan and Tom Petty back at Lake Compounds back in the day, or seeing Bruce Springsteen acoustic at the Oakdale. Probably the two best concerts I've been to.
All right.
Mine's the Grateful Dead, if you want to know, back in like '82 at the Hartford Civic Center.
Mine is Bruce Springsteen at the Rent in 2000. I think he was there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Right when the Rent opened.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah, right. Good. All right, that's it for me, Mike. Why don't you wrap it up for us?
All right. Once again, thank you everybody for coming out today. You get to watch the rest of the JV game. It's off to a rousing start for GNH.
And crossed the 50 yet.
Well, sort of like the varsity game then. But we do want to just remind people, Billy, you can remind them when can people tune in to see these games, whether it be NFHS Network or TGS TV?
Yeah, so this will be just on the YouTube channel, the TGS TV. Buck will load it up pretty soon. And the other games, all the away games go there, and the home games are at the NFHSnetwork.com. You can go out there and on demand or live stream all the home games for GNH football.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We want to wish these guys and Coach best of luck in the second half of the season. We're always excited to go to see your games, and we know we're always going to get maximum effort from you guys, and we always appreciate that. So once again, everybody, thanks for tuning in. My name is Mike Kurtz, and my co-host has been Billy Richmond, and on camera today we have Tim Wheeler. But thanks again for tuning in, and we hope to see you out at Van Wy Field or perhaps out at the road. Thanks very much.